Caitlin Clark, please leave this league and let it crumble. Please, this league.
I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what.
The noise is growing louder. Frustration is boiling over. And what was once unthinkable is now being openly debated across social media and sports forums. Caitlin Clark's fans have reached their limit. They've made one thing abundantly clear. If the WNBA can't protect its brightest star, maybe it doesn't deserve her at all.
Day because of the way they play the game, because I love the WNBA. I love the way they play the game. But we really watching because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knocking her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect the money. Y'all keep hurting her and all that. She going for a year or two. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. If nobody watches, how y'all gonna make and generate money? Stop playing with that girl home. Look, y'all need to start doing this. Put them emails together with the commissioner, to the referees. Don't put y'all damn.
The sentiment is spreading like wildfire. Fans are urging Clark to walk away from the league altogether. Their message is simple. If the WNBA won't step in while she's being targeted on the court, then it's time she puts herself first and finds a league, or another path, that actually values her safety and her future.
Go play basketball somewhere else. Your fans will follow you. We will follow you wherever you go. But let this shit crumble and burn to the fucking ground, man. Let the viewership drop below 50%. Let them lose hundreds of millions of dollars again, man. Let them go back into fucking irrelevancy. Nobody giving a damn about none of these.
Sophie Cunningham, now widely seen as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, has finally broken her silence, and her words pull back the curtain on everything that's gone wrong. Her explanation for stepping in says it all. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about a league that's lost the plot, failing to protect its most valuable asset while the world watches.
I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so.
What should have been just another Tuesday night matchup between the Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun turned into yet another installment of the Caitlin Clark saga, where she's treated like a human punching bag while the WNBA stands by, eyes wide shut.
I've literally been beating this girl up, pushing her on the floor, pulling her hair, poking her in the eye. You hear me? That's dangerous, bro. Because y'all mad because she pulling up threes in your face and then talking her smack like she should. Everybody else do it, so what's different? Y'all be picking and choosing who y'all want to pick y'all battles with, bro. That's just people.
JCS Sheldon poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. Marina Mabrey followed up by shoving her to the ground, while she was still reeling from the hit. And somehow, the referees responded by slapping Clark with a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Let that sink in. The victim gets punished while her aggressors stroll away with barely a warning.
Marina Mabrey still staying in the game. What do you have to do to get ejected? Yeah, that's all of our question, buddy. None of us know. None of us know what you have to do to get ejected in the WNBA. You can pull hair. You can pull hair. You can drag. Stop. You don't even have to pull hair. You can drag someone to the ground by their hair and not get ejected. You can. You can body check someone to the ground with no ball in sight. You can poke someone in the eye. None of these things will get you ejected. So at least we know these are the 3 things that you can do. Has anyone thrown a punch yet and not gotten ejected? I think that's just the last straw. Like, maybe that would get you ejected. Anything else? Fair game.
But this time, something was different. This time, Caitlin Clark had an enforcer. Sophie Cunningham, who had watched the same ugly pattern play out game after game, finally said enough. With just 46 seconds left on the clock, Sheldon made a steal and raced toward what should have been an easy layup. Instead, Cunningham sent a message that echoed far beyond Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She grabbed Sheldon by the hair and yanked her to the floor, igniting an all-out brawl that would change everything.
Sophie, who's my one of my favorites now. She's become one of my favorite WNBA players. I'm gonna watch her too, like I watch Caitlin. Look at what she did. And people may not say that this was in response or whatever the case may be, but I feel like Sophie is like, you want to play? We can play. I want to play the clip of her with the girl. And your girl Sophie.
Wilson had it knocked away. Good hands by Allen. And Sheldon comes up with the steal.
Watch it.
Going coast to coast.
What's up then?
And here's we got another breakers here. And Stacey Sheldon goes right after
Blonde hair and the high heels fool you.
It was a hard foul, no good.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. What happened next was nothing short of unprecedented in WNBA history. Within 24 hours, Sophie Cunningham's TikTok following exploded from under 400,000 to over 1.2 million. Her Instagram surged by more than 800,000. But this wasn't just support, it was a movement. Fans crowned her the enforcer, wiped out her jersey stock until July 8th, and turned her into an instant icon. This wasn't fleeting viral fame. This was a cultural flash punt, a loud, undeniable signal that fans were starved for someone, anyone, to finally stand up for Caitlin Clark.
Been surprised about this. Sophie Cunningham's jersey sales just passed Caitlin Clark's after she goes viral overnight for protecting Caitlin Clark in a game where she got fined $400, which Caitlin Clark apparently is paying for. But yeah, we found our new queen at Indiana.
When Sophie Cunningham finally faced the media, she didn't sugarcoat a thing. Her words sliced through the usual post-game PR fluff like a knife through butter. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple years now of them just not protecting the star player of the WNBA, Cunningham said, her voice echoing the frustration of everyone who's watched this slow-motion disaster unfold. At the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. What makes her statement so powerful is that she's not talking about one game or one moment. She's calling out years of systemic failure. A league that preaches star power but fails to protect it. This is Caitlin Clark we're talking about, the same player who has transformed WNBA attendance practically overnight. Fever games now average 16,084 fans. Non-fever games, just 8,552. That's an 88% spike. The kind of spike that turns a league from background noise to front-page relevance. And yet, the league still can't or won't protect her.
The refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player. So
Sophie Cunningham was in Phoenix. It is what Marina Mabrey is. It is what, to an extent, Alyssa Thomas is. And you better believe, there are players in the Fever team that are soft. And I'll say this, where it's very rare in sports that the guard is the enforcer. Everyone's like, oh, Caitlin needs to stand up for herself. And I'm like, one, she does. But two, she's a small guard. No small guard likes physicality. No small guard hunts for physicality.
The numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark is transforming the WNBA. Games featuring Clark are averaging 1.178 million viewers on television, nearly 3 times the 394,000 pulled by other matchups. When the Fever rolled into Atlanta, attendance skyrocketed from 3,382 to 17,592. In Washington, the crowd ballooned from 4,988 to a staggering 2,522. But let's be honest, this isn't just about viewership or box scores. It's not about hard fouls or the intensity of competition. What we're witnessing is a disturbing pattern of targeted harassment, the kind that would be unacceptable in any other professional league. And the WNBA's response? Disgraceful. Instead of protecting their biggest draw, they fined Sophie Cunningham for doing what the league refused to: stand up to the bullies. Rather than confront the issue head-on, they punished the one player who dared to push back, Rebecca Lobo, who spent weeks analyzing rookie footage from the past 27 seasons. Put it plainly, Caitlin Clark is being defended differently, more aggressively, more physically, than any rookie in WNBA history. This isn't opinion. This isn't speculation. It's a researched, documented fact from someone who's studied every rookie class the league has ever seen. And yet the WNBA keeps gaslighting its fans, pretending this is just normal basketball. But anyone with eyes and a shred of honesty knows exactly what it is: targeted harassment, plain and simple.
Gets picked up in the full court. She also gets blitzed more over the course of her career than any player in WNBA history or in that period of time. And she also creates some contact herself on the offensive end of the floor. She is very difficult to officiate because of all of the contact that's happening around her all of the time. That being said, I was in contact with a number of WNBA coaches yesterday about this topic of the officiating in the WNBA, and all of them said it needs to get better. Specifically, the consistency, not only from one game to the next, but the consistency within a game. One coach told me, we tell our players to be as physical as they can possibly be for 40 minutes because we know for 38 of them, they're pretty much going to get away with it. So I think everybody would like to see a tighter whistle and a little.
Here's the terrifying truth Sophie Cunningham's rise has exposed. Even having an enforcer might not be enough to protect Caitlin Clark from a league that seems hell-bent on sabotaging its own success story. Cunningham gained nearly 1 million followers in just 3 days. Not because she asked for the spotlight, but because fans were desperate. Desperate to see someone, anyone, finally stand up for Clark. But the question no one wants to ask is, what happens next? What happens when the next wave hits? When it's not 1 or 2 players, but multiple defenders targeting Clark at once? Can one enforcer stand against an entire league's worth of jealousy and resentment? The fan response to Cunningham's actions speaks volumes. This isn't just about admiration, it's about collective desperation. People are begging for someone to do what the WNBA refuses to: protect its brightest star, because this was never just about Sophie Cunningham. It's about what she represents, a line in the sand. Fans are rallying behind her not just for the hit she delivered, but for the stand she took. Because they see what the league won't admit. The real problem isn't the isolated incidents. It's the pattern, the escalation, the silence from the top while chaos unfolds on the court. And that silence? It's the most damning evidence of all.